This should have been chaos. A two-time champion hits free agency, and nobody cared. No bidding war, no teams fighting over him, no urgency from anyone at the top of this sport. Just silence. And then Richard Childress Racing. Understand what that means. That's not a market that values what Kyle Busch did. That's a market that stopped caring, and if that doesn't bother you, you're already watching a different sport than the one you think you're watching. 2 championships, 83 wins, 15 seasons of loyalty in the NFL. Teams restructure their entire cap for that. In the NBA, franchises blow up rosters just to make the call. In NASCAR, the market shrugged. Think about that, and people want to call that a contract dispute, a business decision, a clean transition. No A sport that valued performance would have fought for that seat. It didn't. That tells you everything about what performance is worth right now. Here's what people keep getting wrong. They say it was about the money. If it was about money, someone pays. They say it was about fit. If it was about fit, someone calls. Nobody moved. That's not a negotiation falling apart. That's a market sending a message. And the message is this: Kyle Busch's value to this sport is no longer calculated by what he does on the track. It's calculated by what he generates off it, and that number. For a driver who doesn't do lifestyle content, doesn't build parasocial followings, doesn't manufacture drama for the camera, came up short. If you're only good at driving, you're already behind. Let me show you the exact moment this changed Martinsville. 2022 Ross Chastain rides the wall on the final lap. 5 positions, 4 seconds. Something nobody had ever seen in the modern era. That clip broke out of NASCAR completely. Sports shows, talk shows, non-fans sharing it. Millions of views in hours now. When Kyle Busch wins a race, it stays inside the sport. Clean pass, dominant. Car, championship implications. And it doesn't leave the bubble. That right there is the new metric. Not wins, not points, not championships. Can this moment travel? 1 wins on Sunday, 1 trends on Monday. Guess which one gets paid more? Wins don't sell anymore. Moments do, and if that bothers you, you're watching the wrong version of NASCAR. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. If Kyle Busch was coming up today, same talent, same ability behind the wheel, same results, but no legacy to lean on. No 15 years of wins the sport already owes respect to. Just a driver in the Xfinity Series posting top 5s with 0 crossover appeal and 0 following outside the sport. Does he get the same seat he got in 2005? Be honest, because the market just answered that question without anyone having to say it directly, and the answer should change how you see every opportunity being handed out in this sport right now. Here's what happened, and when sponsorship used to follow wins. Win the race, get the exposure. More exposure means more value. Money follows performance. That equation is dead now. A driver wins races, sponsor checks a box. A driver trends on social media, sponsor writes a bigger check. That's the shift, and once money moves, everything moves with it. Seats, opportunities, coverage. Which drivers get the profile pieces? Which drivers get the broadcast time? Which drivers get positioned as the face of the sport? All of it follows the same signal now. Talent gets you in. Attention keeps you in. And if you don't have both, you don't last. And NASCAR's entire infrastructure is currently being built around drivers who understand the second part of that sentence. Look at who gets promoted. It's not always the fastest, it's the most visible. And the drivers who haven't figured that out yet are going to spend years posting results nobody outside this sport will ever see, wondering why the door keeps almost opening right now. There are drivers in the Truck Series who are faster than people sitting in cup cars. Everyone in the paddock knows it. But fast isn't the bottleneck anymore. Useful is useful to the sponsor, useful to the broadcast deal, useful to the platforms NASCAR is trying to grow on. And if you can't check those boxes, your speed doesn't matter as much as you were told it would. That's the sport now. Here's what nobody at NASCAR will say into a microphone. The best driver is no longer the priority, not the most decorated, not the most proven, not the one with the longest track record of delivering when it mattered most. The most useful one is. And those are not the same driver. Now people will push back on this. They'll say NASCAR is growing. Ratings are holding. The Netflix deal worked. New fans are coming in. The sport is healthier than it's been in years. And they're right. All of that is true, which is exactly the problem because NASCAR isn't failing. They optimized for attention, for reach, for the audience that doesn't exist yet, for the algorithm, for the streaming numbers, for the kind of growth that looks great in a quarterly report. And it worked. but understand what that means for the sport underneath the numbers. A sport that optimizes for attention over merit doesn't correct itself. It doubles down. Because the metrics say it's working. The engagement is up. The impressions are up. The brand partnerships are coming in. You don't argue with that. You just quietly keep making the same decisions, season by season, contract by contract, seat by seat, until one day you look up at the grid and realize you don't know how half these drivers got there, and the ones who did it the old way, who won their way in, earned their way up, believed the results would speak for themselves, are standing outside wondering what happened. Here's the question you should actually be asking. Was Kyle Busch treated fairly? That debate is already over. The real question is, who's next? Because this pattern doesn't stop at one driver. It doesn't correct itself. It becomes the standard, and once it becomes the standard, the sport has permanently changed what it's selecting for not the fastest, not the most proven, the easiest to sell, and somewhere in the Xfinity series right now, there's a driver posting the fastest lap times of his life, running consistent top fives, doing everything he was told to do, win races. The opportunity will come, and he believes it, because he doesn't know yet that the game changed while he was focused on the track talent used to open doors. Now it just gets you noticed, and noticed is not the same thing as chosen. Nobody told him that. Nobody's going to, because the truth kills the system. NASCAR didn't fail. They optimized. For attention, for reach, for growth, and it worked. That's the part nobody wants to admit. Because once you admit it, you have to sit with what comes next. The next driver this happens to won't be a champion losing leverage in free agency. He'll be a prospect. He won't be a headline. He won't even be noticed, because nobody tracks. The drivers who never make it to the grid, and that's when you know it's permanent, when it stops being a story, and starts being Tuesday. This should have been chaos. It wasn't. NASCAR didn't fail. That's the problem. It worked.